In my previous video, I talked about few things that you can do with money and how to go about managing your budget. And in one of those steps, I talked about getting out of debt and staying out of debt. I understand that in one way or another, we have all been in a position where we have wanted to be clear of all our debts and be financially liberated and free to do as we wish with our money. But most of the times this has not fared well for us. In the current world where we are riddled with debts left, right and center, from our student loans, our daily normal consumption loans, credit card debts, and all types of debts that we always accrue from time to time, it's almost impossible to stay out of debt. So for this reason, I decided to go on a research journey and find ways that we can mitigate our spending and also be able to clear our debts and be financially free. Being financially free is one of those things that helps us be able to sleep at night comfortably. And being financially free means being out of debt, or in better terms, being out of bad debt. Being trapped in a debt cycle can ruin very many things in your life, and one of those things include your health, how you relate with your people, that is your relationships. You become stressed, and it can even damage your work life. So being able to be financially free is a key factor in an healthier life. So I dove deep into research and watching many tutorials and reading some books about how to get out of debt, and I came up with several steps that can help me accomplish that. And basically, as I said, this is a journey for me, and I want you to be a part of it so that you can also be able to follow in those steps and see if they will help you. Let's see what these steps are and see if they will help us. Since you have established that being out of debt is a good thing for you and an advantage to your health, to your work, and to how you relate with people in your life, let's find out how we can go about it. What are the steps and what measures can we take? So the first thing that we want to do is to gravitate towards being debt free and staying out of debt. So as much as this is a financial issue, it's also a mindset issue. So long as we keep getting into debt, in and out of debt, we will always keep getting back into that cycle. So the first thing that you need to do is to keep your mindset and to change your mindset about debt and be motivated towards getting out of debt. So changing your mindset is the first step. That is, you need to gravitate towards getting out of debt and being debt free. So as you are gravitating towards being debt free, it is also important that you understand the reasons why you get into debt and what are the common things that make you borrow money, or what are the common things that make you fall back into debt. Is it loans? Is it your expenses? Is it your spending? Is it due to circumstances? So once you find out these things, you'll be able to know how to go about them, how to handle them in your budget and in your planning. So after that, the second step would be to create a debt snowball. Now, a debt snowball involves creating a list of all your debts from largest to smallest, and then handling those debts from the smallest to the largest. It's more about getting yourself into the mood and getting yourself into a rhythm of paying off the debts. If you start clearing off the larger debts, you'll not be able to complete them at once. But if you start with the smaller ones, you will definitely be able to clear some loans faster, and in the process you become aware of the rewards of creating those completed tasks. Now, the reason why we start clearing off the smaller debts fast is because we need to create the small wins so that we can be motivated enough to keep going. If we start off with the big debts first, one can become discouraged in the middle because there are no wins. But it's about creating a motivation for the process. So you start off with the smaller debts and move up to the bigger debts one after the other. So the other thing that you'll want to do is to start saving some money. So now in this step, definitely it's more about creating money for emergencies, so that you don't fall back into the habit of going to borrow and getting into debt again. So you save some money for a rainy day, you create an investment portfolio, for example, or you start depositing some money into a money market fund, or into a circle, or into something that helps you keep your money growing as it's being held, as it waits for you in a rainy day. But this is basically emergency money to keep you out of debt. That is at the beginning. Once you get out of debt, you can use this money for anything else, but for now, keep it there for an emergency. You don't want to fall back into the habit of going back and borrowing. So after we are done with these first three steps, which are the key ones, you now have to quit the habit of borrowing. Now, we don't want to fall back into the old habits. This is about creating an habit and creating a record for ourselves. So we don't want to fall back into borrowing again. And since we are all guilty of justifying our debts and our spending, it's important that we make the financial decision that anytime we are about to spend some money, we take some time, sit back and think, is it necessary? Is it required? Can it wait? Is it urgent? Is it important? Now, after you've asked yourself these questions, and if it falls into the urgent category or the important category, now we'll need to find some way, and that is, if you really need it, there are two things that you can do. One, you can ask for some help. Asking for help is one of those ways that can help you mitigate your debt cycle, and can help keep you out of debt very easily. So if you really need it, you can go ahead and borrow some money from your spouse, you can go ahead and borrow some money from your friends, you can go ahead and borrow some money from your family, and if they're in a position to help you, definitely they will help you. But what we need to keep off is getting to more debt. Now, the other option, if you're really in need of that thing, the other option of course is to sell some stuff. If you have something laying around that you don't use, or if you have those clothes that, for example, run out of fashion for you, or they don't fit you anymore, if you have extra things that you don't use, you can start off by selling those things and creating some money for yourself. It's one way to make money. So you can then use that money to stay off borrowing. Now, also, if you have some skill, if you have something that you can do and nobody else can do, and if you have some skill that you can sell, you can go ahead and sell that. For example, say you are a graphic designer, or you are a video editor, or you do some other work that can keep you, that can maintain some cash flow. You can also go ahead and do that. Now, the final thing is, of course, as much as we are saying that we want to get out of debt, we need some money. So the final thing is, you need to get some work. You need to find somewhere where you can work, or a job, or something that you can do to give you money. Now, definitely there ain't a better way to make money if you ain't got money than to get working. Doesn't matter the pay, doesn't matter the hours. If you don't have the money, you definitely have a very small window of choice. So get working, get making some money. It's as simple as that. These simple steps look very simple in theory, but in practice they can be a bit challenging, and it's a bit hard to keep the consistency, the motivation, and also to keep deciding to continue with the same rhythm every day. But personally, I have found that these steps do work, and from the few ones that I have tried out, I've been able to clear some of my debt. I've also been able to start saving up some money, and creating a debt snowball is something that I can attest has been a major motivation towards that goal. So if you choose to be part of this journey and also decide that you want to be financially free and debt free, you can consider subscribing, leaving a comment in the comment section, telling me what your problems have been, the kinds of loans that you always find yourself falling back. I know some of you have laser debts that keep recurring, so I want to know about that, so that I can see how we can help each other, we can talk about it and basically help each other. For watching this video this far, I am grateful, and if you enjoyed and learned something new, do consider sharing with your friends, of course, and giving me that thumbs up. It really goes a long way to helping me and also spreading this video. As always, thank you for watching. I hope that I see you in the next video, and peace.